Hey guys, Dr. S here, popping on. I literally have 10 minutes. How are you guys doing? Dropping nuggets you didn't know you needed. And as always, it's my hope and prayer that they will help you be your best you. I have been thinking about doing this particular live for the past few days, maybe even a little bit longer. As many of you may know, if you know me, you may know this about me, and if you just happen upon this live and you don't know me, just a little bit of why I'm sharing what I'm getting ready to share is because, and why I entitled it May Moments, is because May can be a very challenging month for me, and I'm sure others. Part of the reason why it has been challenging is today actually is the 10-year anniversary of my mom's passing away. My mother died due to, it started as lung cancer, and maybe I should have said a trigger warning if people if cancer is a hard topic, if death is a hard topic, if death of a loved one like a mother or parent is a hard topic, then you might not want to watch this, or maybe you do. So my mom was a smoker. My mom was diagnosed with lung cancer in, I want to say 2012. And just lung cancer was not that challenging. She did chemo. If my sister were to pop on, I can't remember if she did radiation, but like she didn't lose her hair. She was in good spirits. Like she was okay. She still traveled. She came to St. Louis in 2013 when I graduated from WashU with my doctorate degree. By then she was on oxygen, but she was like still okay. You know, she was still mom. In 2014, in probably April, I remember getting a phone call. I was already planning on going home, you know, as I typically do at the end of a semester, and Parker then was in preschool. So, but I got a phone call where my mom had fallen out. She had lost feeling in her leg, and she was in the hospital, and they were thinking about they might have to amputate her leg. They were saying that if they put her on a ventilator because of the lung cancer, which had then metastasized to her breast, they were concerned if they put her on a ventilator she wouldn't wake up. So found out they didn't need to do anything with her leg. They didn't need to put her on a ventilator. I changed my flight, you know, got in touch with my job. I was like, okay, I'm out. So I went home 2 weeks earlier than I had anticipated. When I got home, she was in the hospital in palliative care. I spent that 2 weeks in the hospital with her, and then we got the news. The doctors were like, there's really nothing else we can do. The cancer in her lung areas was attacking her lungs, basically. I mean, you know, that's what cancer does, right? But it was worse. It was like eating away at her lungs. So she went into hospice. So during this time that I'm home, we celebrated Mother's Day. We celebrate, which is, you know, had always been great. We celebrated my grandmother's birthday, which had always been great. We celebrated Parker's birthday, which has always been great. She was still in the hospital when we celebrated Parker's birthday. She went to hospice either later that day or the next day. And no, maybe she was already in hospice when we celebrated Parker's birthday. I would have to look at the picture to determine the background of where she was. At any rate, on the morning of May 21st, my aunt and I, so we would take turns staying in the hospital or hospice. The nurses, the doctors were like, yeah, there's nothing else we can do. We're going to take her off of oxygen. We're going to give her morphine. And that's going to be it. So I watched, along with several of my family members, I watched my mother take her last breath on May 21st, 2014. It was devastating and beautiful all at the same time. And the reason why I say beautiful is while my mom was still in the hospital, I remember her saying, I've really been praying. I really believed God was going to heal me. And I said to her, when you leave this earth, that is a form of healing. So, please don't be mad at God. Please don't look at it like God didn't answer your prayer. He's just answering it maybe in a way that we did not anticipate. So I shared this for two reasons. One, because May is a hard month. This is the first year since my mom has passed that I have not dealt with depression, just a sadness, right? Just not always putting the pieces together, just knowing the month of May was heavy for me, that I didn't want to do anything, that I would randomly burst out into tears. I would miss my mama was my best friend. And so it was hard. There were years, obviously, I didn't want to celebrate Mother's Day, even as a mother, and knowing many mothers, I didn't want to do it. I didn't want, don't talk to me about it. And also don't feel bad for me. It was just, but this was the first year that I did not feel that way. So acknowledging that this month has a lot of ups and downs, more ups than downs, because God is gracious. As I mentioned, Mother's Day, my grandmother's birthday, my son's birthday. So beautiful, beautiful components of the month, but also this dark spot. But what I have realized is that as dark as that moment was and will always be until I leave this earth, the one thing that I found solace in was Christ. The one thing, I knew with a certainty that my mom was okay on the other side of glory. I know for a certainty that when we get to heaven, I will see her, though, it'll be our new beings. And that has been the hope of glory that has kept me. And so I share this today in particular because I know I'm not the only person that has lost a mom, has lost a parent, who has lost a child, who has lost a loved one, and it is devastating. There are no words to describe those types of loss. And God is big enough, God is strong enough, the blood of Jesus is still powerful. There is still a space for us to receive the comfort that we need, the grace that we need. You guys know in anything that I talk about, whatever it is, I'm going to say feel your feelings. I'm going to say feel, the stages of grief. Feel angry, feel denial, consider bargaining, all of that. Feel your feelings. Tell God about it. He already knows. And then allow him to comfort you. Allow him to rock you. Allow him to gather up your tears. Allow him to hold you when you're angry. Because he is a good father. And he will never leave us or forsake us. And he knows. He understands. He is acquainted with our grief. And so I just wanted to say that today. I saw what my sister has posted, and my aunt texted me, it's a hard day, it's a hard time, it's a hard month, and God is so good, God. And so I just want to share that for any person who may be dealing with, you know, death, loss, grief, bereavement, anger towards God, any of those things. I'm looking at my watch because I have somewhere to be in 1 minute. Because it's real. It's real out here in these streets. It's real out here in these streets of humanity, living this life, dealing with death. We know that it happens, and we don't like it, and we don't want to deal with it, and we have to, and God is here with us, for us, during this process. So I love you guys. You know, if you have thoughts, feel free to share them in the comments. If this resonates with you and you want to talk about it, DM me, because I get it. I get it. And I have watched God be God. So I love you guys. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, and I'll talk to you later. Be blessed. Dr. S.